So in the last video, we had a look at basically editing together our voiceover performance. And you saw that there was a couple different macros that I used. Let's go ahead and let's work with this piece of audio over here. In fact, we can give this a completely different color altogether so we can really see what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and just make this, zoom this to the selection. And now let's go ahead and start editing this. But instead of doing any right clicking, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to do that as a shortcut. So what we can do over here is we can go over to the Studio One and the keyboard shortcuts menu, and we can actually do a search. So we can go over here and I can search for delete time. So I see delete time over here, and I could go ahead and I could program this to a keyboard shortcut. So instead of having to use my mouse, I could just go ahead and I could enter the key that I wanted to use. So for instance, Option delete, or I could use Command delete or anything like that, or Control delete. And then I would be able to use my delete time command, but without having to always use my right mouse. Now that can come in really handy because you don't always want to be using your mouse. Now the other thing that I would suggest programming to a keyboard shortcut, if you are using the room tone on a layer on a track, is we can open up our keyboard shortcuts again and we can go to our expand layers. So I can just type in expand and you can see I have expand layers, and in my case I've already programmed this to the Option C. I'm on a Mac over here. So instead of having to click this track over here and right click and expand the layers by using the mouse, what I can do if I need to do editing and I want to comp together something, let's say that I said, oh, you know what? There's a little click or something here that I want to get rid of. I could simply just use my Option C to open that up, and then I could just comp together some new fill tone over here to get out anything so that it's nice and clean. And I could really kind of just come up here, and I don't even have to listen to this stuff at this point. And I could just really just clean this up as best as I can. All right, so that can be a really helpful command as well. So now we have our final performance done over here. I'm going to go ahead and just select this. Let's get rid of this. I can select everything on this track here, do a Shift P so that I've engaged this and I've activated the loop according to that selection. Can activate this loop over here. We can reroute this to our VO bus. And now it's pretty much ready to go. Each channel of audio in your song is represented by a channel in the console. Audio tracks in the Arrange view are directly represented by audio channels in the console. Now, the great thing about working like this is we can now just move this up or down, and this is going to be globally affecting the level of this track. So if I want this to be higher, whereas instrument tracks have no direct representation in the console. Instead, instrument channels represent the audio output of virtual instruments. So now the great thing about this is we can basically head over to our master. If we wanted to stick a limiter on our master, just to make sure that we don't hit any higher than, let's say, -1 or something like that, we can go ahead, we can mix to the spec or the deliverable that we need to mix to, and then after we're done, we can simply export our track by using the Command E option, set our format, whether that would be MP3 or WAV or whatever you need to deliver, and then we can basically export our voiceover and we're ready to go. Anyways, I hope you guys got something from this, and we'll talk to you later. Cheers.